I'm John Kingston, the executive editor of FreightWaves. I'm coming to you from the SmartDrive Users Conference in Atlanta. And with me now is Rob Moseley, who's an attorney with Moseley Marcinak of Greenville, South Carolina. And Rob, is there anything more valuable than video in a deposition or litigation?
Well, certainly the video provides an explanation to the unexplainable. And so a lot of times you have an accident on the highway and your driver comes to you and tells you what he or she thinks happened, and that may or may not be accurate.
And you've also got the reality that I guess when video cameras were first installed, they were maybe just kind of forward-looking, and now the systems have been supplemented by side cameras and back cameras, and so you get a much wider picture.
You are getting a lot more today, and you've got the video of the driver showing that the driver's awake and alert and paying attention and doing the things drivers are supposed to do, checking their mirrors, and you see that, and that's the image you want to put in front of a jury of 12 to decide your case, is that this guy's doing everything he's supposed to do.
Are you telling your clients get cameras in your trucks?
I love cameras, and along with that is some responsibility. I'm not just telling them to get cameras, but I'm telling them to get cameras, watch the videos, learn what your drivers are doing, and coach to make them better drivers.
Right. It's not, even though you're probably going to come into play when there's something terrible happens, you're advising them that there's a lot more value than just that that record for when there is an incident.
Yes, absolutely. And so even in the 15 to 20% where it is your fault, where it is the motor carrier's fault, we'd still rather know what happened than have a really bad accident and have the driver tell us a story that's not true.
You talked about the 15 to 20% that shows the trucker at fault. What happens there? Is that always put in by you as evidence through the discovery process? Do you have to submit that, or do you wait for the plaintiff's attorney to request it?
No, I mean, I think good practice is just to go ahead and reach out to the plaintiff's lawyer and say, this is a case we ought to resolve. And so doing that. And the other helpful thing about having the camera is that you're able to coach the driver.
Right, because let's point out that the video will not just be a camera picture, will have all sorts of data.
It's got data
on speed, among other things.
That's right.
We talk about fleets having cameras, but the reality is that some fleets will have cameras in some trucks, but not in others. Does that complicate your legal strategy if one of those trucks gets in an accident?
Well, I mean, Murphy's Law is going to be the one that's going to be in the accident. It's going to be the one that doesn't have a camera in it. I think it's important to get everybody outfitted in schedule and not let a bunch of folks get by without having the cameras, because, like I said, I love the cameras. If you're going to have the cameras, have the cameras. Don't have half a fleet with cameras.
You're not with a trucking company, but you work with a lot of them. Are the companies that you're dealing with that have cameras, are they fully utilizing that efficiency?
They are, and you can't have the cameras and put your head in the sand. I mean, that's the bottom line, is you've got to use the data. If there's anything that litigation will teach you, is that you're responsible for data that you have or could have had. And so whether it's camera video images that you should have used to coach a driver and make a driver better, or whether, it doesn't matter what kind of data it is. It's engine information that you can download, other information that's available to the trucking company. You're held responsible for it whether you use it or not.
Are you seeing a rise in the size of the awards being handed out against trucking companies? I know that just in the last year there have been some huge ones that were really eyebrow raising, that may call for getting those cameras in there.
Absolutely. So since 2011, there has been a verdict against a trucking company that has been over $10 million every other month. And recently that number has increased. And so that makes the cameras more critical and makes the cameras more cost effective. Number of insurance companies are partnering with the camera manufacturer. They're offering to subsidize cameras in the cabs because they see the value. They see the return on their investment.
Okay, Rob Moseley, transportation attorney, talking about video cameras in the trucks, talking about litigation in general and how to keep yourself safe out there. From the SmartDrive Users Annual Meeting in Atlanta, I'm John Kingston. Thanks for joining us.